Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully y'all blessed, amazing, great, the whole nine. So I got a meeting with my sales team in a little bit, probably in the next 10, 15 minutes. But I just wanted to come on here and drop a video real quick while we're gonna be talking about sales. Just to cover some things that we don't really talk about as much in the credit repair space, which is art of selling, art of sales, right? So we're gonna talk about that. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you get value from what we're going to talk about today and share it with somebody so that they can get to the next level. If you don't know me, if you're new, my name is Michael Benjamin. I am the CEO of Consumer Ammunition Tactics, or CAB. Basically, we help you start, grow, scale your credit repair business. So with that being said, I need y'all to understand, I want to walk through some of just the key principles when it comes to sales and how we've been able to increase our closing rate when it comes to actually our credit repair business. So one thing y'all gotta realize, right, is that sales is like a muscle, right? So you gotta work on it. Some people, they're just naturally better than some people. Sometimes people aren't as good as other people, right? So some people are natural born salesmen, some people aren't. So it's something you gotta work on. No matter what level you at, you can work on it and get better. So remember, sales is like a muscle. You know what I'm saying? Muscle, you feel me? Nah, but you gotta really understand that it is like a muscle. So I want y'all to take what I'm saying as far as these best practices, these principles, and go ahead and implement it so you can get yourself to the next level. If you're the only person that's doing sales on your team right now for your credit repair business, you want to get to the point where you're hiring the top people in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go scale, if you're really gonna scale your business, you need to hire the best talent. You need to put them in position so that they could do what they do, which is selling, closing more deals for you, your digital products, your credit repair stuff, all that, right? So this is a little bit of what we're going to be talking about in my meeting that I'm about to have with my sales team. One book that I highly recommend that y'all read is Never Split the Difference. Different book as well is The Art of War. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So number one when it comes to sales. And the reason why, before we get into it, the reason why I want to talk about it, like I said, is I don't really see it talked about as much in the credit repair space. A lot of people in the credit repair space is just more of like, okay, let me do the credit repair, let me get clients, this, that, and the third. And it's more of like a 9-to-5 mindset when you don't really think about it. And you got to think about it too, like everything is in sales. Everything is in sales, right? So your parents are salesmen, you're a salesman, like everything's about sales. It's literally like a vital skill to succeed in life, right? So you need to understand how to sell. So number one really good principle that I think you should be aware of is knowing your opponent. It goes back to The Art of War. So if you've ever read The Art of War, part of it is knowing your opponent. And when I say knowing your opponent, I'm talking about knowing your prospect that you're speaking with. So your prospect is somebody, they're looking to fix their credit. They're looking for this, they're looking for all that, right? The common denominator is that they're always going to be trying to fix their credit, but why are they trying to fix their credit? What are they looking for? Things like that. So this is why you have to ask the right questions, the correct questions. This is why your intake form, your feedback form, whatever form to actually book a call is very important. The way that we run our business, you fill out a form. We're asking, what's your goal with your credit? What is this? What is this? We're getting all the information so that we can hop on a call and then we're already knowing everything. So one thing I want y'all to be aware of, if y'all know about Nardwuar, right? Nardwuar, the interviewer, he does extra research on who he interviews. I want y'all to be like Nardwuar. You want to have the mindset to be like Nardwuar with it. If you're like Nardwuar, you're going to know everything about your client, right? So do your research. Part of your research is in that form. How does somebody become a client? When they book that call, okay, they booked a call. What's happening now? Do you have information on, their credit? Do you have information on their goals? Now, when you hop on a call with them, from a sales perspective, you don't want to sell. You want to have the mindset of you're just guiding them to a solution. You're making them realize that they need a solution, and the solution is, your services, right? So if it's you doing it or someone on your sales team, they have to understand that that's what the whole goal is. It's not just to be salesy, right? I'm just saying this based off of my experience, our experience. When we changed our mindset to be more intentional about, it's not about, let me be salesy. It's more so about, let me find you the right solution. because we might be speaking with somebody. We think that they need done for you credit repair services, but maybe they need a digital product to do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? So these are things you want to keep in mind when it comes to your actual process of going through the actual sales call, right? So you want to know your opponent. Knowing your opponent is going to be the biggest thing in the world. You want to be like Nardwuar. If you need to do individual research, if you want to look up their IG profile, their Facebook profile, right? Because a lot of times what you'll see, people will be like, oh, I can't afford the services. But then when you go to their page, they got on a Gucci belt. So how come they got money for that, but they don't have money to fix their credit? A lot of people, they come up with excuses as to why they can't do it, but they can in fact do it. It's just that, you know, the priorities aren't straight. So really know your opponent. Be like Nardwuar. You want to be like Nardwuar, right? When you're like Nardwuar, when you're doing your extra research, you pull up on them, they're gonna be like, dang, how'd you know that? You know? Yeah, make sure that you're like Nardwuar. Second thing, a second principle that's been very, very important. Now we're gonna go over 3 principles. And y'all let me know in the comments too if y'all want more information, insight, as far as, damn, I'm almost falling over here. Thing. No, but if y'all let me know if y'all want more insight as far as like sales and things like that. So let me know. The next thing is you want to make them feel special. Make them feel special, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's talk about women. So women, they fall in love with what they hear. If you a guy, you date women, you should know how to talk to women, right? You know, women fall in love with what they hear. So you saucing up the women, you know what she wants to hear, you saying it. You're basically a salesman in that situation because you're trying to get the date, you're trying to get whatever you're trying to get. Some of y'all trying to, you know what I'm saying? But whatever you're trying to get, you're a salesman. So you want to do the same thing when you're speaking with the women. And this is why I teach my sales team to do as well. Understand that women are going to fall in love with what they hear. I'm not saying to finesse or anything. But if you know you got a woman and maybe she's working at 9 to 5 she don't love. She's a nurse. She's tired of it. You know, the economy is crazy. Just kind of, butter her up when you're talking to her. Okay, we're going to get these collections removed. We're going to do this, that, and the third. Just kind of walk her through it and just speak and articulate yourself in a manner of where she knows that you're her protector. You and your company is going to protect her. You and your company is going to provide a good service to where it's going to be reliable. You got to understand that women are going to fall in love with what they hear. So when it comes from a sales aspect, you need to pay attention to that. Men fall in love with what they see, but we're going to focus on the fact that men like to feel like they're in power, right? Men are very ego driven. I'm a man, I know how it is, right? So when you're speaking with men on these sales calls, you got to realize like, okay, how can I make sure that he feels like he's in control? Especially if you're a woman with a credit repair business. Make those men feel like they're in control. Y'all women know how powerful y'all are. Even when the man isn't in control, just make him feel like he's in control. Make him feel like he's the man, right? So those of y'all that's women that date men, y'all know how to do it. Y'all have been doing sales too. So we've all been doing sales. It's just a muscle that we got to constantly work on. Just like even lifting stuff, right? You lift stuff even when you don't go to the gym. You're working on that muscle. You're just not thinking about it. So now what I want y'all to get in the mindset of, we're intentionally thinking about like, okay, we're working on our sales skills, right? So keep that in mind. Men are going to fall in love with what they see. We're more visual, but make them feel like they're the man. Like, okay, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Okay, yeah, you're right. Be agreeing with him as you're doing a consultation, just kind of make him feel that way. And he gonna fall in love with it. And if you're able to change his mindset, you're going to be able to get his credit card information, get the services started. Same thing here with sales. So understand that, understand it's a numbers game as well. Same if you ask 10 women on a date, maybe 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10, maybe 0 out of 10. You never know, but you just got to keep going with the numbers. So these are things you got to realize, like everything is sales. So keep that in mind. The last thing I want y'all to be aware of is that you want to make them feel like they won, like they got the better end of the deal. What's the simplest, most practical way to accomplish this? Whatever your price is, add tax to it. Normally it is XYZ, but for today, we're gonna give it to you for this, right? You also want to create that sense of urgency. For today, we're gonna give it to you for this. And you should definitely be displaying value within your consultation or whatever. But let's say you charge $500. Start at 1,000. It's normally 1,000, but today we can get you in for only $500, right? That only language is gonna be like, dang, you know, I'm getting a good deal, and it's 50% off, right? So all you did was double the price of what it normally is, but then you presented it to them differently. The presentation is very, very important, right? So y'all got to understand that as well. So these are just some principles, common principles that we've seen within our team that's been powerful to help us increase our closing rate. I know a lot of credit repair, it's just like, okay, fix a credit, you know, get the clients, all that. But people don't talk about, I haven't seen it as much. People don't talk about the actual sales aspect of it. Because what happens if you get all these calls, you get 100 calls, but you're not able to close the calls. You have to understand sales. So hopefully that helps. If you found this valuable, make sure you share it with somebody. And with that being said, y'all have a blessed one.